Sure, maybe you ought to keep going to work, but what are you doing on your spare time? Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I really didn't mean to launch into this dissertation, but I'm kind of glad I did. That way I can offer my services and let them know, hey, I think we got a lot in common. I think we can form a relationship, me and you and your peeps. Because I think I could trust them and believe the words that come out of their mouth more than my own family. We have more in common. Even though my family's baptized, so they're technically Mormon. And the fact that I've said all the things that I've said and they still bring me these means they're not too put off by all the crazy, weird sounding stuff that I said. And in fact, maybe I don't owe an apology for misrepresenting. In fact, maybe some of the things I said are closer to the truth than what the conventional wisdom of the average person, even amongst the Jack Mormon population. It's what they call someone who's been baptized but just doesn't go to church anymore. They kind of fell away. Because I'm clearly perpetuating the falling away. You know, the Christians on the Jim Jones Island, Jim Jones told everyone, now there's going to be some people that come in here and try to tell you that you're brainwashed. And they're going to tell you some things that make sense. And they're so convincing and persuasive, they'll even be able to convince you that's the false light of Lucifer. That's the falling away that's going to happen when people realize they've been taken for a ride. I can't lie, I've been played by powerful people who get their way. I in time will climb my mountain. I in time will rise. I'm so misunderstood, but I live for this. My money's good and I came to win. So step on up and I promise you, only one of us will make it out alive, and it's not you. Cutthroat. Imagine Dragons are Mormons. The music and the messages I've received through that music that most Christians will say, oh, see, Lucifer, he was the musician in heaven. That's how you know if you're receiving messages through the music, you're satanically possessed, you better walk away. And I know a guy, John Veach, my sister's ex-boyfriend, comes out in Walmart one day. He used to be a long-haired, stoner-looking dude, played guitar, and he would draw. He was a good artist. He had the muse flowing through him. Now, maybe there's different muses, and some people, if you don't get away from that, it will drag you down, and there are different spirits. Definitely, as I've said before, there is a change in the spirit of the music, change between the free love and hippies and the modern day. There was love songs before. Now there's nothing but breakup songs talking about how bitter and resentful and full of contempt and animosity they are toward their ex-boyfriend and that bitch and that hoe. There's definitely been a change in the spirit of the music. And one day my parents are walking into Walmart and my sister's ex-boyfriend comes down and says, hey, Julie, Doug, how you guys doing? Been a long time, no see. It'd been like, 10 years since they seen this guy. And he's since cut his hair, got all Mormoned up, because my stepdad asked, hey, I need you to tune my guitar. At the time, my dad was still listening, enjoying music. John said, no, I don't even touch guitars anymore, man. No, I don't even touch them. Huh? Yeah, I stay way away from that stuff. Huh? Evil, man. It's evil. He seemed happy. He seemed like he was enjoying his life. I don't know. They had a brief encounter with him. I wasn't even there. I didn't even see the guy. But apparently, he's married a Mormon girl, joined the church, and during that process, they told him, you need to stay away from that music. Okay? And he would draw these demonic-looking pictures of this gargoyle ghoul-looking dude. So maybe there's different spirits in the music, and it can go either way. Not just good or bad. Maybe there's everything in between. Black and white are all I see in my infancy. Red and yellow then came to be. Reaching out to me lets me see. So before I just trail off on a bunch more nonsense, I'm just going to definitely wrap this up here and now. So I look forward to the next time my minister, is what he referred to himself as. I'm your minister, he says. I go, oh, okay. And he's like, nah, it's just a word, though. It really don't matter. Hey, might come a time soon when you need a minister. And in fact, if the things I say don't scare the hell out of you and get you going like this and never coming to this house again, much less bringing me your first fruits of your own personal labor, maybe we should have a talk. Maybe you could relate to some of the experiences I've had and we could develop a relationship, because no one else seems to be able to relate to my experiences, and thus I am incompatible to have a relationship with anyone else. We don't have underlying common principles, values, standards of behavior, and we certainly don't have common experiences. No one else that I know has had anything like my experience. Maybe some of y'all have, and maybe that's why you're not too put off by the crazy things this guy says, who's clearly inspired. But most people, because they fear the unknown, and it's a lot easier to just point at the bad guy, and then by virtue of contrast and comparison, by pointing at the bad guy, that makes me a good guy. So it's really easy, much, much more easy than actually developing and growing yourself. It's much easier to blow out someone else's candle to make yours feel like it glows brighter than actually building up your own light and letting it shine, making the world a better place, doing for others what they can't do for themselves. The type of personally relevant, personally meaningful standards that I've acquired from early on. But one of the first steps along the way is the fourth step in AA. Personal moral inventory. And then making amends when and where you can. The very practical application of that, oh, by the way, the Mormons, they have their own Mormonized version of AA, a 12-step program for the addicts and the alcoholics, where they got permission from AA to use their process and procedure. And they switched out a couple of words, and that's it. And the reason for that fourth step is to clean out the skeletons in your closet, or you will feel shame, and you won't hesitate to put another skeleton in that closet. And like I said, the Knights of Shame by AWOL Nation. By the way, the name of those two bands, AWOL Nation, Jailbreak. What was the other one? We'll just talk about this one for a minute. A jailbreak is what we're going through right now. Are you a slave or a prisoner? Do you want off Jim Jones Island? Because ropes are getting thrown over the wall right and left. And Jim Jones indoctrinated everyone, said, yeah, when there's ropes thrown and people start telling you things that make a little too much sense, don't believe them. The fact that these people showed up to free you proves that Jim Jones knew that was happening. That proves that he's some sort of prophet. Because he knew that someday someone would come to set you free and tried to inoculate you with programming to get you to respond in a very specific way. And when you see that that happened, that your family, your space family, came to free you from the mental prison that you're enslaved in, because that ended up happening, that proves that your captor is some sort of godly being. That's what the falling away doctrine is all about. That there will come a day when people wake up from this mind control, witchcraft, hypnosis we put you under. And when it happens, don't join them. All these people that are in this enlightenment process, you'll see it happening all around you. And as long as you keep your nose to the grindstone and keep your eyes fixed firmly upon the blood of Jesus, you're saved. John 3:16. It's happening. Like I said, if I was a Mormon, you'd think I was just engaged in an act of self-promotion. The fact that I'm not a Mormon, a lot of people say, well, you're just hoping to get on their good side, so they'll take you in. I don't need taken in. I've been taken in. So that's it for this video. We're done. I'm looking forward to speaking to Mr. Bailey again, though, and asking him if this is his old lunchbox. Because God works in mysterious ways. All the clothes you see me wearing were purchased at the DI, Deseret Industries. And that's the way it's been for my whole life. All of the clothes you've seen me wearing in all of my videos, other than a couple of t-shirts that I might have bought at Walmart when I'm out there on the road and I run out of clean clothes. Other than that, all the clothes I've worn throughout my whole life have been from Deseret Industries. And I could speculate, well, they're part of the insectilians. They got that beehive and they're like part of the insectoids. And that's all speculation. If you judge them by their fruits, you'll see that they've created a society worth living in. And if you can look around and find another society that's worth living in, I might consider my options. But at this point, it's a no-brainer. These are really good, by the way. I just didn't want to eat in front of you.